Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, and thank you for putting the likes on all the videos. I've been seeing that. I want to get to a few things. Of course, several tropical waves, new ones, about to head toward the Caribbean, and twin storms. We're about to see back-to-back storm systems, back-to-back tropical storms developing out there. I do want to mention, and I want to look ahead to the pattern that I'm seeing in the hurricane season, but I do want to touch upon some of the, I mentioned the life-threatening flooding, Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico. Some lives have been lost, and people have died in this flooding, and we are thinking of them. We're thinking of you if you're dealing with a life-threatening situation with these floods. Not everyone's means are the same, and these situations are so difficult with the runoff we've seen, and the fact that we're going to see these twin storm systems, which means heavy rain is going to go over some of the same spots. So we'll get to that. I do like to show you kind of what's next and what's coming down the road. Here we are in the Caribbean. Here's Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Dominica, Puerto Rico, and several tropical waves out there. That one's kind of a big one. Sometimes the satellite makes them look a little bit worse than they are, just the angle of where the satellite is coming off the coast of Africa. It's going to have to fight off some dry air, but they are becoming a little more robust, a little more organized, and we're going to be watching these moving into the Caribbean. There will be a chance of some development out of those tropical waves, not in the short term, but as we go over the next week to week and a half as they get either near the Caribbean or into the Caribbean. Kind of a sloppy mess. Here are the ABC Islands, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, my friends in Jamaica. We are right here, Cayman Islands. We've seen those scattered showers, and watching this moisture here, Guyana, Suriname, getting closer to Trinidad, a lot of us are going to see the uptick in the rain, a higher chance of rain. Some of us still need to get it, but other spots where we needed the rain, now we've gotten it, and we've almost gotten too much too quickly. This here, that is Alberto that rolled onshore very early this morning, heavier rain for South Texas into Mexico. And then this area here, we're going to see another system develop and follow that same path, really twin storms back to back, and that means additional flooding that will head into some of the same spots. We've been watching over toward Guatemala, El Salvador, as I mentioned, parts of Nicaragua, and then you see over here a little disturbance close to the northern Bahamas, should be just to the north of the northern Bahamas, a small chance that does try to develop before it kind of pushes inland and moves off toward the west. But this here we are in Mexico, and this brought some of the, now we actually need to get some more rain in spots. There's a good side to this in the sense we need the rain, but this does mean more runoff. So additional rain is going to be a concern with that next system that will roll in. But boy, we had historic drought levels in Mexico, but now we're seeing some issues with these two storms that are sliding in. So Alberto's been moving in, but just this overall moisture feed is in place, even near Costa Rica, up through Honduras. Now, some spots have been dry while others have been getting dumped on. Belize, Honduras, good examples of that. Some spots have gone a couple days with no rain, while others have seen it every day. And that's what happens in a tropical moisture. It just kind of depends on where some of those bands of rain sets up. So keep me posted in the comments if you're getting rain or not getting rain. That is so very helpful as I go through those throughout the day. Now let's look at the steering pattern, at least as of now. And I believe this will hold over the next couple of weeks, if not over the next couple of months. And this is very important. Now, a big area of high pressure has generally been setting up near Bermuda, kind of either to the east or west of it at times. And what that does is that acts like a blocker or a fence. And that's why we've been seeing everything just kind of surging into this area around that area of high pressure. And then we have some fronts up here that helps kind of drop some of the moisture. That's exactly why we're going to get those twin storms. And then we'll watch these tropical waves rotating into the Caribbean. And this is key because last year we had a lot of systems come at us in the Caribbean and then kind of lift up and stay over the open waters, which was good, but this year may be different. Doesn't mean we're going to get hit. I don't want to put out any alarming stuff and need to take it a storm by storm, but some of us have already gotten hit in Mexico. So as we get into the La Nina pattern too, not only do we have not the best overall steering conditions that kind of makes things move our way, but with a La Nina, that means less wind shear. That allows the showers and storms to build up, and that allows them to develop into tropical storms or hurricanes. And that's why there will be an above average amount of storms, tropical storms and hurricanes this year. So yes, it is going to be busy, but we'll take it storm by storm together. And I'll do my best to get the information out to help keep you safe, but you spread the word as well as we get developing systems. Here's the European model, and you can see there's the area of high pressure I was just talking about, just kind of feeding out. Things generally move in this direction, but with that blocker there, they don't kind of scoot out to sea. You can see this moisture here that just continues over Central America and the Western Caribbean, and that will lead to more flooding. Watching those rivers, the runoffs, there's been mudslides, rock slides in many locations in Central America. There's that disturbance here in the northern Bahamas. There's that disturbance there. Very warm water here. It's the Gulf Stream, so slight chance that develops as that continues to move its way to the west. But then we're watching here. There's the area of high pressure just continue to build in. This is by tomorrow, so this is our Friday. There's the moisture building, and once again, just like Alberto, it starts to lift up to the north. There's high pressure there, so we'll watch these tropical waves that will be coming into the eastern Caribbean. Now, as we go from Friday into Saturday, that's when we're going to see more of a spin starting to develop. This is such a repeat of what we had. Now, sometimes when you get a system, it does cool down the water a little bit, and Alberto did, but not enough. The water's still very warm in the Bay of Campeche and the western Gulf of Mexico. So as we work our way into our Saturday, we get a swirl here, and with high pressure over here, we get these batches of rain and these tropical waves that will work through the Caribbean. So we're going to see isolated areas of flooding. We had some of that in Puerto Rico yesterday, and that's just one of the examples. And then this here, this is going from Saturday into Sunday. This is Sunday. This system works in. Once again, just like Alberto, still a lot of rain across Central America. There's the area of high pressure there, and there are those stronger tropical waves. I mentioned those 3 to 4 tropical waves out there. Those will start to march in for the week ahead and could lead to some isolated areas of flooding. So I hope I'm doing my best to kind of show you the overall pattern and what's coming down the road. And you see it here. This is the American model. There's what's left of Alberto that is worked into Mexico, still dealing with the flooding. We are getting some welcome rain, though, such a flip side to that. And then you see here that rain in parts of Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, spotty showers and storms possible. Now this here is our Friday, and there it is, that swirl of moisture starting to build right by the Yucatan of Mexico. And then watching this, you see this moisture here. So Trinidad and Tobago, while we're not going to see all-day rain every day, same thing in Barbados, we're going to start to get into an even more active pattern. This here is Saturday. Somewhere in here, we should see that spin developing. You see Cuba over toward the Bahamas, scattered showers and storms will be possible. Haiti and the DR had a few scattered storms for us in Jamaica. And then just watching these pockets of rain trying to drive towards St. Lucia, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, Antigua, Barbuda. We could see a few showers. And then on Sunday, there's that spin that works in, but still a lot of leftover moisture around. And there are those bigger tropical waves I keep alluding to. A couple things with that. As those start to move in, isolated areas of flooding, and then as we get this moisture moving into the Caribbean, although it's going to fight off some dry air and dust, that just adds to all of this. So we could get some additional development within the next week or two in the Caribbean. That's been the pattern, close to home stuff developing. We had that with Alberto. We're about to have that again with this area that's going to redevelop, or not redevelop, but the second area that will develop in the Bay of Campeche. So you see here, this swirl that we're going to see here. Here's that closer look for you, and then I want to get into those rain totals and the seas, and then seeing these surges of moisture moving in, spotty showers. You can pick a spot on the map where you are. In here, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, parts of Costa Rica. We're going to continue to monitor for those mudslides. Panama, we'll see some rain. Panama Canal doing a little bit better, but we still need to get some more rain. Very reliant on that. This here is on Saturday. You see the Bahamas, the uptick on some of the rain, and then we'll see that flow coming in as we work our way into Sunday. Let me pull you out in time. This system, whatever it is, may get a name. It could be that next tropical storm that moves into Mexico, but still just kind of swirling in that moisture. So on Sunday, we could have some rain around near Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and then there we go, near Trinidad and Tobago, the increased rain with those next tropical waves that are a little bit more organized that will be moving in. So here, watching the winds, you can see the scale here in kilometers an hour and miles per hour, and we're going to get gusty winds at times. Now, on the short term, as we work our way into tomorrow, you see the winds building here. The winds here, you can see the scale there, 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles per hour. Those are the gusts, not the sustained winds. But right in here, this on our Friday, is where we're going to start to see the winds build up, the rain build up, and then we start to get that little swirl right in there. There it is. There is the potential of that next tropical storm. Plus, watching that little disturbance, as I mentioned, does have a brief chance of developing just to the north of the Bahamas. But as we're watching that lifts in. Watch what happens here. Let me take you out in time here. We'll stop the clock on Sunday. This starts to move in, and then the winds are going to start to build again here and off toward the east of the Bahamas as we get these other tropical waves moving in, bringing it out in time. Whatever this develops starts to move in, and you see exactly what I was just talking about right there. This next tropical wave a little bit stronger, not anything alarming, but just stronger. Gustier winds are going to get closer to us, northern Guyana, Suriname, northern Venezuela, and into the southeastern Caribbean once we get into early next week. It all coincides with what we're seeing with the wave heights, meters right here, feet right here, and you see the greens and the yellows. That's about 3.5 meters, or upwards of about anywhere from 7, 8+ feet, upwards of 10 feet. So we've got the elevated seas across the Gulf of Mexico and that pocket here with this disturbance that is trying to develop just north of the Bahamas. As we work our way forward, you see here in the Bay of Campeche and in the Western Caribbean, if you're doing any boating or any interest on the seas, you know this even better than I do. We are watching this carefully. It is a little treacherous here. This here is on Sunday, still, and this is where we could have that swirl that works into Mexico. So watching this, but then this kind of catching my eye over here, over toward the open waters of the Atlantic with the other tropical waves. It's going to be a rocky go. So planning any sailing, you're going to have to pay close attention, and I'll do my best to show you these tropical waves that move in. But the rain, additional rainfall, I know this map has so many colors because the rain is so intense, but over the next few days, additional rainfall of 150 millimeters of rain or 6 inches of rain in some spots, highlighting parts of Mexico. That includes what's left of Alberto in eastern Mexico, El Salvador over toward parts of Guatemala, and elsewhere we could see some flooding. The Yucatan of Mexico, Belize, even Honduras, and Nicaragua. Now, Alberto, that's the name that we just finished up with, that moved on shore in Mexico. Beryl is the next name on the list. So that twin storm, if that does get a name, the next name on the list is Beryl. Whatever gets a name next, could be that area just to the north of the Bahamas. Then Chris, Debbie, Ernesto, Francine, and Gordon. Now, Cuba, Jamaica, Cayman Islands right here the next 3 days. Haiti, the DR, Turks and Caicos, spotty showers and storms. But if you get one could be strong, giving us 75 millimeters of rain to about 3 inches of rain. And we'll watch that too. Puerto Rico, Anguilla, St. Martin, over towards St. Croix, St. Thomas, down through Dominica, watching out for some areas of rain. But let me show you this here. Southeastern Caribbean, yes, some spotty showers possible. But once we get toward Guyana, look at this. This is really a couple days from now. A lot of rain here. Now, once this moves toward us, it is going to start to weaken some and diminish some because of the dry air. But this gives you an idea of how much rain is in some of these tropical waves, and that's why over the next few days I'll be highlighting any flood potential. So we've got all of this action around. There's Alberto, and then we'll watch out for that next swirl, watching these other tropical waves in these fronts over here. Top side of that, watching a front try to work its way back through the Atlantic region of Canada. Some scattered thunderstorms will be possible. Let me know if you get one over toward New Brunswick, Nova Scotia today, Prince Edward Island. Could see a couple scattered storms, just kind of unsettled, and we are so hot. You may have been hearing about the heat dome, basically a stuck pattern, high pressure and control, just keeping that heat locked in at the surface. Extra caution with some of the record high temperatures and that chance of storms. Now, as we work our way into Saturday, rain chance starts to creep up, but on Sunday, we'll see a better chance of some of that moisture moving in, and hopefully that'll break some of the pattern. So Jamaica, we're going to keep it at about a 40% chance of some scattered showers and storms, a little higher in the Cayman Islands, a 50% chance, a 40 to 50% chance the next few days in Trinidad and Tobago. But on Saturday, it starts to bump up. It's not a washout, but watching some of that moisture moving in, you see the trend in Barbados and in St. Lucia. Gradually, the rain chance is going to get even higher. By the time we hit Saturday in Grenada, about a 40% chance. Today in St. Vincent the Grenadines, not a lot, but a 40% chance on Saturday. 30% chance in Martinique, isolated showers. 20 to 30% chance in Dominica. Rain chance 20 to 30% in Guadeloupe, and holding at that even 30% again, Antigua and Barbuda. 30% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat, and a 30% chance Anguilla Aquila and St. Bart's. Isolated showers possible. Could see a few passing ones, St. Martin, Ceiba, and Statia. A bit higher in Puerto Rico where we could get some of those thunderstorms. Let me know what you get in Puerto Rico. If you do get any flooding, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, about a 30 to 40% chance, 30 to 40% chance across the Bahamas. But by the second half of the weekend, some of that moisture could build. Turks and Caicos, 30 to 40%. And like Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, some scattered showers and storms, mainly in the afternoon. Isolated to scattered across Haiti from Jacmel back toward Port-au-Prince. Belize, rain chance. It just depends on where those bands of rain set up. So let me know. But flooding is a potential in parts of Belize. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, one of the spots we still need to get some rain. And it has been so hot over toward Bonaire. Rain chance elevated, still high. Guyana, 70% chance. That's not really going to go anywhere. 70 to 80% chance in Suriname. And in Cuba, 50 to 60% chance, especially in our western zones. 60% chance Costa Rica and Panama. And about a 70% chance in Nicaragua. Monitoring the flooding in Nicaragua. Honduras will get some batches of rain at times. Some spots have been dry. Others have been wet, as I try not to sneeze here. Guatemala and El Salvador, an 80% chance. Still additional rain, additional runoff. Please spread the word. Use some caution. Mexico City, now we need to get more rain, but we have that shot. At least it's not 0% anymore, and that is some good news. Trying to find the good news. Yucatan, we're staying on the wetter side with that next system basically developing on top of us. Colombia, 30 to 40% chance, 30 to 40% chance in northern Venezuela. And as we work our way toward Bermuda, pretty nice conditions over the next few days. So twin systems with Alberto moving in, that other system back behind it. It is a stuck pattern, the life-threatening flooding that I've been talking about and trying to highlight because of the back-to-back systems. And then 3 to 4 new tropical waves. That's normal coming in, but they are a little stronger than the previous one. So the rain chance overall will be getting higher. June on average gets one named storm. We've already had a named storm, could get a couple more just this month. So thank you for spreading the word for safety's sake. Thank you for being with me. I enjoyed going through the comments, and I hope you're safe and have a good rest of your day.